Welcome to KXAN News Today. Here are your Monday morning headlines. The National Hurricane Center says catastrophic and life-threatening flooding still possible as Tropical Storm Hillary makes her historic path through Southern California. It makes history as the first tropical storm to hit Southern California in decades. The storm now entering Nevada.
Austin police are still trying to figure out what led to a SWAT call out at an apartment complex on Lola Drive. This was in North Austin. Happened yesterday. A resident reported hearing multiple gunshots coming from inside an apartment complex next door. Officers saw bullet holes from the outside, and when they went in, they found empty shell casings. They called SWAT in to clear the apartment, but no one was inside.
Spain won its first Women's World Cup. Players celebrating on the field after defeating England 1-0 Sunday. Back in Madrid, fans watching at an arena erupting with joy as the referee blew the final whistle to end the game.
And we're going to start off with some breaking news from overnight. A fertilizer plant is burning in northeast Williamson County. The fire started last night just outside of Bartlett around 9:30.
County Judge Bill Gravel telling us that the fertilizer plant is a total loss over on Highway 95. People within a quarter mile of the plant are evacuated. Gravel saying no one was hurt in this fire. It is contained, but crews are letting it burn overnight and into the morning before they're going to drop water on it.
First warning weather with meteorologist Kristen Curry.
Well, good Monday morning. It was a hot weekend for all here in Central Texas, and you can expect more of the same as we start a brand new work week together. Live look outside, taking you up to our Ewald Kubota weather camera there in Georgetown, showing clear conditions, dry skies from top to bottom, and very warm temperatures. In fact, near record warm this morning at 84 there in Georgetown, 85 in Vernon, 82 in Austin, same thing in Bastrop. We've got some upper 70s filling in there in Gillespie County. It's back to the low 100s we go today. Forecast high 106. For perspective, yesterday we hit 107. Broke, both records at Camp Mabry as well as Austin Bergstrom. I think we'll be close today. I don't think we'll rewrite it though. That 106 is expected to be for us here in Austin, whereas everybody else is probably going to be between about 100 and 106. We've got those heat alerts in effect again, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's the excessive heat warning in pink and orange, a heat advisory down towards the southwest. Here's what we got going on today. Critical fire danger. In fact, fire danger so hot, we've got warnings up for parts of Central Texas. I'll walk you through that. Still watching the Gulf very closely. We've got some updates to share with you as that tropical wave there in the Gulf of Mexico has better odds of becoming a tropical depression. What it means for us and where we could potentially see some rain here in Central Texas coming up in your first warning forecast.
Kristen, thank you. New Braunfels police investigating after a teenager drowned Saturday at a popular tube shoot. The drowning came just days after the city stopped using lifeguards at that same spot.
And KXAN Sarah Alshay explains why the city stopped and how swimmers are responding.
The city of New Braunfels says its police department is investigating the drowning of a 16-year-old that happened at the New Braunfels Tube Chute Dam Saturday afternoon. The news comes less than a week after the city stopped staffing lifeguards here. In a news release, the city attributed the decision to safety concerns for its staff, writing, "From exposed rocks and water clarity issues due to stirred up sediment, the lower water levels have made it difficult for our lifeguards to perform their duties safely." But some swimmers say the river was actually deeper than they thought.
In high school, I actually was a competitive swimmer, and so I'm used to the deep water, but there was some points where you missed a step and it was deep.
Melina Rodriguez says with no lifeguard on duty, she had to step up at times to help children in need.
They were like, help, like it's really deep, I can't swim. And so I was trying to help them, like give them their floaties, but like these were like minors that got separated from their parents.
Yeah. The city says it pulled lifeguards about 3 weeks earlier than they typically would. But with Labor Day still around the corner, Rodriguez worries about not having those extra set of eyes.
There's going to be nobody that's going to be on the lookout, like if they floated away from me. As a parent, I think for sure there should be a lifeguard.
Sarah Alshah, KXAN News.
We did ask New Braunfels if it plans to reconsider adding lifeguards at the location again, but we have yet to hear back from them. In a news release, we do know the city encouraged people to use a life jacket.
As we go in depth on this, there have been other drownings in New Braunfels at that tube chute. New Braunfels police saying a 62-year-old man from New Mexico drowned back in July of 2021 at the tube chute, and a 22-year-old woman was near the chute when she drowned back in June of 2020.
And University of Texas students start classes later on today. Some still don't have a place to live, though. Inspectors with Austin Fire will be out at the Rambler ATX building. It needs approval still before people can even move in. On Friday, they were told they had to wait. The city told us the Rambler failed an inspection with the Austin Fire Department on Thursday. One senior said that she was ready, but had to find somewhere else to stay first.
They managed to tell us less than 24 hours before move-in that our move-in's delayed by minimum a week.
A spokesperson for the complex says it did pass all other inspections and that its common areas are complete. It also confirms students are being offered $200 a day and up to $500 for moving costs. In addition to UT Austin, these schools are also starting their fall semester today. Austin Community College, Texas State in San Marcos, and Houston Tillotson over in East Austin. Happy first day of school. Coming up, the progress report on a program helping moms to kick the opioid habit.
And a mixed reception for the president as he heads into the disaster zone in Paradise.
President Biden and the First Lady are heading to Maui later on today. They're getting an update on the recovery efforts from the devastating wildfires that moved through the island.
At least 114 people are confirmed dead. Officials only identifying 16 people so far. NBC's Bree Jackson looks at what we can expect from the president's visit today.
As the death toll from the deadly wildfires in Maui rises, President Biden preparing to take on a now familiar role of consoler-in-chief when he travels to the island today to see the devastation.
But he's also going to be able to talk with people and hear their stories and provide a sense of hope and assurance that the federal government is going to be with them as he has directed.
The search to find and identify victims continues, as does the investigation into what caused the fires. The governor ordering a comprehensive review.
We will get to the bottom of exactly how the fire started, how our emergency procedures and protocols need to be strengthened, and how we can improve our defenses to protect us in the future.
In the meantime, survivors are grappling with grief.
I cannot do anything. We never say nothing. Nothing at all.
Ahead of the president's trip, the Biden administration vowing that the federal government will be there to help the island rebuild for as long as it takes. Yet critics say it took too long for the president to publicly acknowledge the deadly fires. But aides say he has been working behind the scenes from the beginning. His visit is not being welcomed by some.
We don't need you. Don't come here.
Stay out of our way. Get rid of the red tape.
An island facing a long road to recovery ahead. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Now, the White House says that it has more than 1,000 federal personnel on the ground to help with response efforts right now.
Still ahead, Longhorns getting ready to head to class, but first, they're celebrating. We're going to take you to the Gone to Texas rally next.
And why doctors fear a condition that usually hits adults could now be impacting kids.
It's been a while, but Austin FC got back on the pitch. They took on St. Louis, and we've got the action from St. Louis coming up for you later in sports. Keep it here.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning to the class of 2027 as we look live at the UT Tower that is lit up to welcome all the students back to Austin. And the Eyes of Texas was the way to welcome back everyone. That was last night, and this is this morning, the first day of fall semester at the University of Texas at Austin. The Longhorn class of 2027 getting to begin their newest chapter at the Gone to Texas event last night. UT calls it the largest welcome party on campus, featuring student speakers. Some words from the university president. He was there. Fireworks to get the students pumped up for the new school year.
Gone to Texas, long-standing tradition that's welcomed thousands of new Longhorns for years. University says the event actually dates back to the 1820s when people were looking for a new start. They started moving to Texas, many carving 3 letters on their doors and fences, GTT. Gone to Texas.
What fun.
Yeah, it's a really fun event. The DJ is there afterwards, and it's a party.
When the party starts.
Yeah. It's a party in a little light bracelets and everything. Let me show you what's going on with your forecast, friends. We made it to Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, survived the heat. We were breaking records yesterday with the 107 we had here in Austin. Today, pretty close to 82 right now, as those calm winds continue to keep us nice and quiet. Looking at where we're going with the numbers, you can expect the 80s through the morning, 90s by lunch. Forecast high 106. It's going to be a hot one today, similar to the heat you felt yesterday. And we're seeing similar heat warnings because of that. The excessive heat warning in effect again today. No change from what we were showing you yesterday. 1 to 9 p.m. with not only the excessive heat warning, but the heat advisory too. As far as the fire concerns go, we've got critical fire danger today with winds anywhere from about 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusting to 20, in addition to humidity dropping to less than 30%. That's why that red flag warning has been triggered today. Again, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So this afternoon and evening. Let's talk tropics, because we still are watching this tropical wave here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's got about a 70% chance of further development over the next 24 hours here. Potentially tropical depression by the end of the day. I think high end, maybe a tropical storm, but nothing beyond that. I think a tropical depression looks more likely here. And unfortunately, it looks likely that the majority of this rain goes south of us. Here's what I'm talking about. Putting this into motion starting tomorrow morning. We're going to be on the northern fringe here of seeing some of those spotty to scattered storms and showers. But watch as they just kind of skirt our southern counties, and that's it. Because this thing is moving quick, because the track is further south, we're unfortunately not looking at a game changer here when it comes to rainfall. Potentially up to about 1/4 of an inch for areas south of Austin. So really I-10 and southward. And then you'll notice very spotty, if anything, in the way of meaningful rain for Austin northward here. So this is not going to be something that we're super excited about, just because the track maintains to stay south. So 7-day forecast, you'll notice because of that, our high temperatures, yes, technically will be a little cooler, but not below 100. So the streak continues. We've had 60 days in a row of temperatures 100 or hotter, and unfortunately, at least another 7 to go. 104 by Wednesday. You'll notice the dry skies take over from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday onwards. We do have record heat expected Friday and Saturday again. Potentially just a couple of isolated storms on Sunday. Nothing that I'm super worked up about, but we'll continue to keep you updated. We got about 24 hours until this thing moves on shore to our south, so keep it here on KXAN for those updates.
Most pregnancy-related deaths are preventable.
If something doesn't feel right, get help.
The Hear Her Texas campaign is in full swing. Public service announcement encouraging women to speak up when they have concerns and recognize the signs of pregnancy complications. Texas mothers share their survival stories here after giving birth.
That's right. The push for awareness comes as the state health department launches efforts to reduce pregnancy-related deaths. As KXAN investigator Arzo Dost explains, a key focus is now on opioid and substance use among pregnant women and new moms.
It's a special time for Megan Sheely.
I've got to be a mother to my son for the first time. He's going to be 10 months old.
She's a mom to 7, but says this is the first time she's been able to truly experience those early milestones.
I had a lot of pain and guilt and shame around losing my other kids to the system. I mean, I started out like most people, smoking marijuana, drinking, doing ecstasy, and it just slowly progressed to crack cocaine, and then to opiates.
Sheely, who lives in Houston, turned to Santa Maria Hospital for treatment. It's one of the largest substance use treatment centers for women, including those pregnant or parenting in the state.
We're one of the only places in the state where a mother may bring her children with her while she accesses substance use treatment.
The nonprofit is now expanding to Austin after seeing more women needing help.
We don't wait for women to find us. We go out into the community and help engage participants where they are. For our moms, they may be scared about child welfare, and so they don't want to come in for care because they're scared that their child may be taken away. And our coaches help build that trust and rapport.
Data from the state's Maternal Mortality and Morbidity Review Committee released in December shows substance use is one of the leading factors in pregnancy-related deaths, contributing to 8% of deaths across Texas.
Our goal really at the end of the day is to help moms and babies.
That's why the Texas Department of State Health Services is partnering with hospitals on a pilot program focused on opioid and other substance use disorders. The 9 hospitals, including Ascension Seton Medical Center in Austin, will be working closely with community organizations like Santa Maria Hostel to improve outcomes.
It may be policies that a hospital puts in place. It could be working with specific community organizations or state programs to really help support these women, both not only in the hospital, but within the community as well.
Is that a step in the right direction, do you think?
I believe if this would have been there for me years ago, my story might have turned out different.
Sheely is now a recovery coach at a treatment center and an advocate for herself and other moms.
Every woman, no matter what her circumstances, deserves a chance at recovery and to be a mother.
Arzo Dost, KXAN investigates.
Santa Maria is hoping to have a facility in the Austin area by next year. You can access resources through the organization or the state health department right now by heading to KXAN.com and clicking on this story in the investigative section.
Urologists are seeing a trend that worries them, and they say that you should be worried too, parents. For the past decade, they've witnessed a concerning trend of rising kidney stone cases among young individuals. James Linkman, a professor of urology at the Indiana University School of Medicine, says doctors blame various factors like poor dietary habits, a lifestyle where you're just sitting around, and inadequate hydration practices.
The majority of kidney stones have oxalate in them. They're composed of calcium oxalate. There are certain foods in the diet that are rich in oxalate that should be avoided, particularly if someone has had a kidney stone. Things like spinach, rhubarb, peanuts, peanut butter are the common ones.
Doctors say if either or both parents have had kidney stones, their children are going to be likely at an increased risk of getting them.
This is KXAN Sports, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry.
Good morning. It's been almost a month since Austin FC has played in a match, and it's been over a month since Austin FC played an MLS match. And they returned to action last night against the team that got the best of them in the season openers, St. Louis. First MLS match, as I said, in 35 days for Josh Wolf and his club. Their crowd, another sellout crowd there. We pick it up in the 22nd minute here. Tim Parker scoring the goal off the header there to make it 1-0 St. Louis. Then Edward Lewin. How about this? This shot off the top of the post. Austin FC gets lucky. That easily could have been 2-0 right there. But St. Louis will get another chance. Nico Joaquini on a run, putting the moves on Julio Cascante and puts that through to make it 2-0 St. Louis. Then in the second half, Joaquini on a run fires a great save from Brad Stuber, but Joaquini gets it back and puts it through again. His second goal of the match, 3-0 St. Louis after that. 60th minute now. Danny Pereira sends it towards the goal, but it gets deflected. Then Driussi gets tackled. Another look at it. Yeah, that's a penalty for sure, and you don't want to give Driussi a chance because he'll take advantage. Driussi puts Austin FC on the board with this goal off the PK in the 61st minute. 72nd minute, though, St. Louis with possession, and Samuel Adeniran with the goal there to make it 4-1 St. Louis. More goals were scored after, but not enough for Austin FC to earn the 3 points. St. Louis defeats them for a second time this season, 6-3. Austin FC's next match will once again be on the road as they'll face in-state and conference rival FC Dallas on Saturday. Kickoff is set for a little after 7:30. That's it for sports. Let's go back over to you.
Thank you, Jonathan. For those listening on the KXAN Today podcast, thanks for joining us. Here's what else we're tracking for you in the 5 a.m. hour of KXAN Today. Forget wood or brick. We're going to show you the material that could make up your next home.
Thanks for joining KXAN News Today. You can also listen to KXAN News Nightly every weekday after 5:30 p.m. for in-depth coverage on what matters most to you.